Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my dear students. How are you all? Welcome to another biology class. I'm your biology teacher, M. Jahidul Hassan. So today we are going to learn from chapter 10, which is defense system of human body. That means human immunity. And um, today we are going to talk about the concept of human defense system. That means the overview of human immunity. Okay. So at the beginning, you need to know what is immunity actually. So what is immunity? Human body is able to create a resistance system against harmful pathogens through a unique system, which is called the human defense system or the human immune system. Okay. Pathogens, that means any kind of foreign particles that which is not our self things, like bacteria, fungi, viruses, dust particles, any kind of chemicals, toxic components, whatever it is. So all these things always try to enter our body through one of our openings. So like it can be nose, mouth, our reproductive systems, or even our cut in the skin. Okay. So and they will live on the tissue or produce toxins, all these pathogens, and all of these can, under the right conditions, cause damage and destruction of parts of the body. And if these were left unchecked, the human body would not be able to function properly. Okay. So that's why uh, this system, this immunity or immune system, actually it protects us from all these kinds of foreign invaders. Okay. That's why this system is called human defense system or immune system. Okay. And the systematic study of human defense system or immune system is called the immunology. This is a very modern and recent sector of biology. Okay. And though this sector, that means this immunology, is a modern branch of biology, but it was first, actually the concept of immunology actually was first discovered by the English scientist Edward Jenner, okay, in 1796. And later Louis Pasteur, he proved that bacteria contain some substances which help to make the defense against infected body. Okay. So um, see here the type of human defense system. Okay. We can divide human defense system into two types. The first one is the general defense system, yeah, and another one is a specific defense system. The general defense system or the non-specific defense system, and this one is also known as the non-specific defense system. This defense systems are actually it really the barriers that stop the pathogens from entering the body or killing the pathogens which already entered the body. Okay. And this defense system is also known as the innate immunity or inborn immunity. Okay. uh, mm, Innate immune systems, that means this general and non-specific defense system, they provide immediate defense against infection. And these things are all found in all classes of plants and animal lives. Okay. And another type of human defense system is a specific defense system. And this specific defense system, actually it attacks specifically to a specific foreign invaders. Okay. And this can happen by the production of antibodies or by white blood cells engulfing a particular pathogen. Specific defense mechanisms are also referred to as the adaptive or acquired immunity. Okay. This one is the adaptive or acquired immunity. And the thing is, the general defense system actually makes the first and second layer of defense, and the specific defense system, it makes the third layer of the defense system. So what are these things actually? See this table actually. This tables actually this indicates the first line of defense systems, and then second line of defense systems, and the third line of our defense systems. The first line of defense systems are the physical and the chemical barriers of our body, and which are considered functions of the innate immunity. They are the innate immunity. This first and second line of defense, both of them are the innate immunity. Innate immunity means the immunity which is developed, which is actually we get those immune system by born. Okay, so innate immunity is also known as, that's why, inborn immunity. Okay, so these two are the innate immunity, first line of defense and second line of defense. And here the third line of defense, that means the acquired immunity. This is the specific defense system, and the third line, it actually it makes the third line of defense system. Okay. So what are the components of the first line of defense systems? These are the components. Actually, they make the physical and chemical barriers. Okay, skin, hair, cilia, hair wax, tears, mucus, saliva, stomach acid and enzymes, urogenital acids, microbiome, defecation and vomiting. All these things are the components of the first line of defense system. And if when pathogenic microorganisms actually to infect ourselves, they must make it past this first line of defense, and then second line of defense, and also the third line of defense systems. Okay, so if this first line of defense system is broken, then the second line of defense within the body is activated, and then the third line of defense system is activated. This is the sequential process, or sequential defense systems against all kinds of foreign invaders. So now, so let's talk about more elaborately about the first line of defense first. So the first and the foremost and the most important physical barrier of a human is his or her skin. Okay, so the first and arguably the most important physical barrier is the skin, and this skin actually it prevents pathogen to enter the body. Sebum, here the skin oil and the sweat and are toxic to bacteria. Symbiotic microorganisms on the skin also keep the surface free from pathogenic organisms. Symbiotic microorganisms, that means they are the mutual actually they actually remains on the skin by maintaining mutualistic relations. Okay, without make any harm, actually they remain on the skin. So how this skin actually protects our body, and they actually our skin, it protects our body in 4 different ways. First one is structurally, it is keratinous, that means it is waterproof, and that's why they're impermeable for most of the particles. And the second one is it is replaced in a definite period of time, regular basis. Our skin cells are replaced in a regular basis. Acidic pH, yes, okay, our skin is slightly acidic, and because of the presence of this hyaluronic acid, the pH of the skin is 5 to 6, that means they're slightly acidic. And for many microorganisms, this pH is not penetrable. Okay, and this environment is not optimum for many microorganisms to survive. And the fourth way is the presence of antibiotic from the sweat gland and the sebaceous gland. Okay, they secrete antibiotics actually that also kills those bacteria. Okay, so and uh, another thing about skin, our skin consists of outer epidermis and the inner dermis layers. Okay, and just beneath the outer layer there is a layer of fat, a thin layer of fat actually. And this complex organ has many essential functions that protect us from harmful microbes and substances, that keeps our internal organs safe and keep tissues from evaporating. Okay, like our skin actually, it protects ourselves from ultraviolet or UV radiation. Okay, and uh, mm, it has very dangerous effects on our skin. Mm, uh, so UV radiation exposure, it can create skin cancer. Okay, So it protects us from this UV radiation. And our skin also protects us from bacteria and viruses. We have already discussed about this. And when the protective layer of the skin is damaged from a cut, the skin immediately responds to protect us from disease, okay, by uh, actually covering or by creating new skin cells, okay. And another interesting thing which takes place in skin is the Langerhans cells. These Langerhans cells found in the epidermis of our skin, and this epidermis, this is actually called the epidermis alert our body to the need for an immune response due to pathogens on the skin. Langerhans cells actually, they regulate immune reaction, preventing our skin from overreacting to less dangerous pathogens. Okay, that's why they are very dangerous actually. Sorry, they are very interesting and sensitive cells, which is located in the epidermis of our skin, called Langerhans cells. And another more interesting informations about skin is human epithelial cell, the keratinocytes, they produce antimicrobial peptides called beta defensins, okay, which have effective activity against bacteria such as Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Salmonella aureus, Candida albicans, E. coli, okay. From all these microorganisms or bacteria, we can actually uh, remain safe mm, because of our peptides beta defensins, which is produced by keratinocytes. And another innate antimicrobial peptides called actually cytokines, neuropeptides, eicosanoids. These things are also produced and secreted by the keratinocytes. Okay, these keratinocytes actually, these cells located on actually at the epidermal layer of the skin. So, although our skin is a good defense, but it isn't perfect. Okay, the skin itself can also become infected by bacteria, virus, fungi, or tiny parasites. Okay, so that's why we have more defense components. See, cilia and mucus. Okay, cilia and mucus in respiratory tract. Actually, these things continually remove dust and microbes by trapping and swallowing, like even coughing, during coughing, sneezing, and vomiting, expels those foreign bodies. So germs stick to mucus and cilia remove the mucus. And acid and enzyme, the stomach is actually is a formidable obstacle insofar as in its mucosa secrete hydrochloric acid, and this hydrochloric acid is very acidic, highly acidic. See here, the pH of the hydrochloric acid of our stomach, in our stomach, is 0.9 to 3. That means they are very, very acidic, and very corrosive in nature. So, and there are so many protein digestive enzymes that kill many pathogens. Okay. Mm, so even there are so many lysozyme enzymes even from our salivary glands that can kill bacteria that bring with food. Actually, this enzyme secretes only for destroy bacteria, which is present in our saliva. Okay, pancreatic enzyme, they have protease enzyme in pancreatic juices, and which is important for killing so many harmful bacteria, yeast. Okay, and another enzyme is lactoperoxidase enzyme secreted from salivary gland, mucosal gland. This is actually a natural antibacterial agent that can kill gram positive and gram negative bacteria. And urogenital acid, we have openings in our urinary tract, or at that end of our urinary tract, even our genital portions. So all these openings can be a path through which bacteria or germs can enter in our body. That's why on these openings we have different types of symbiotic bacteria, and also different types of acids and enzymes that can kill the bacteria, okay, and protect ourselves. Lysozyme enzyme, lysozyme enzyme present in the saliva. I have already discussed about this enzyme, and this enzyme is also present in our tears, urine, and sweat. Okay. Mm. And the microbiome, a very interesting thing is here. In various regions of the body, this microbiome means actually, see the actually they provide the physical defense. Okay. And they occupy, they are symbiotic microbial colonies. That's why they occupy our available surfaces, and thus they protect us from the um, pathogenic bacteria or pathogenic viruses. And here the cerumen or wearwax, this actually secreted from the sebaceous gland of our ear canal, and it protects from our body from invading the germs. And defecation and vomiting, it also expels microorganisms from the body. Now the second layer of defense systems, phagocyte, uh, very vital defense system, which is called the phagocyte. Phagocytes actually are a type of blood cell that they can engulf microorganism and digest them. And some are very small, which is known as microphages, and some are very large, which is called macrophages. Actually, they remain in fixed places, and even they can actually circulate through the whole of through our body. Uh, I will talk about these things more briefly in our next lecture. Okay, so don't worry. Another component of the second layer of defense is the natural killer cell or NK cells. Okay, these cells are specialized to kill viral infected cells and tumor cells. Okay, they secrete cytotoxins, perforins, and granzymes, which create pores of the plasma membrane of the target cell and facilitating water entry into the target cell. Target cells then swell and burst. Okay, actually, thus this way they protect ourselves from those foreign bacteria, foreign invaders. That means bacteria, viruses, and microorganisms. And inflammation, a very interesting phenomenon mm, of course in our second line of defense system. When cells are infected, they release histamine, okay, and which result in blood capillaries dilating and becomes more porous. And this causes the localized swelling, redness, heat, and pain. See here, the four things. And this is a sequential process: swelling, redness, heat, and pain. Okay, and all these things, this total scenario, total phenomena, actually you can call them together this inflammation. So it brings this inflammation phenomenon, it brings more and more white blood cells to fight against the infection, fight against all those foreign invaders. So inflammation throughout the body results in fever, which interferes with the ability of the microbe to produce. Okay. And another component of the second layer of defense is the complement system. Usually this complement system is made up of 25 proteins, and they all together, they work together, and they assist each other, these 25 proteins. And the functions, the basic functions of the complement systems are here. Actually, the opsonization, they enhance the phagocytosis of antigens. These complement systems, they actually enhance the phagocytosis, and the chemotaxis, they also attract macrophages and neutrophils, that means the phagocytic cells, to the foreign invaders. They helps these macrophages and neutrophils to uh, recognize those foreign invaders. And cell lysis, some cases they also rupture the membrane of the foreign cells, and they also clumping the antigen. Okay, they also clumping the antigens. So these are the characteristics of the complement systems. And another thing here of the second layer of defense is the cytokines. Cytokines are specialized proteins produced in response to antigens and functions as chemical messengers in the immune response, like interleukins, interferons, growth factors are the main types of cytokines. And they actually facilitate the three main ways, the cytokines. Actually, they regulate the innate immune response via chemotaxis and activate the inflammatory response. Okay, that means they activate or they encourage the inflammation, and they also they may regulate the adaptive immune response via activation of lymphocytes. Okay, and the third way, they may activate hematopoiesis via production and differentiation of new white blood corpuscles. Okay, and the sixth component of the second layer of defense is the interferon. This interferon is a set of high molecular weight glycoprotein which is released by variety of eukaryotic cells in response to invasion by virus. Okay, interferon is spread to nearby cells and stimulate them to prevent viral multiplication and thus reduce the spread of the virus. Actually, the interferon is kind of alarming system. Okay, when a cell in a body is actually infected by a virus, then those cells um, actually kill themselves, but before destroying itself, it releases these interferons. Okay, and as a result of this interferon, it creates alarming systems surrounding those cells or those infected cells. Okay, thus it reduces the susceptibility of infection. Okay, interferons will also recruit natural killer cells which target and destroy those infected cells. Okay, now the fever is an elevation in body temperature. You know, the normal body temperature is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius, and the elevation of the body temperature, we can call it fever when the body temperature is 97 to 99 degree Fahrenheit or 36 to 37 degrees Celsius, or more than this temperature, you can call it the fever. And this is also the second another component of the second line of defense, mm, because during the fever it raised the body temperature to kill those foreign invaders, foreign viruses, bacteria, fungi, or chemical components, or to destroy those chemical components. In some cases, this high temperature can destroy those things and protect ourselves. Okay, so, so fever is the result of an immune response by our body to a foreign invader. Okay. So fever actually it helps us to combat those infections by reducing the growth rate of pathogens via the inactivation of enzymes and toxins required by the invader. And it may also increase the metabolic activity of the body cells and also activate the heat shock protein in order to strain the overall immune response. Okay. So up to a certain point, fever may be beneficial, but beyond the tolerable limit, it can cause damage to a body's own functions, own enzymes, own metabolism. Okay. So now the another component of our second layer of defense is the acute phase protein, APP, large group of biochemical and functionally unrelated proteins, which actually helps us to fight against those foreign invaders. The blood clotting, that which is also known as the hemostasis, is a mechanism that prevents the loss of blood from broken vessels, and they also clot which prevents the further blood loss and also blocks the entry to foreign pathogens. This is very important. So I think that's all for today. Thank you all. See you in the next class.